On August 20th, 1977, Chicago's own The Emotions soared to the very top of the Billboard Hot 100 with their timeless anthem, Best of My Love. Produced by Maurice of Earth, Wind and Fire and Charles Stepney, the song wasn't just a smash hit. It was a cultural celebration of joy, love, and sisterhood. Winning a Grammy and staying at number one for 5 weeks, Best of My Love became one of the defining songs of the late 70s and a cornerstone of Chicago soul. Wanda, Sheila, Jeanette, and later Pamela Hutchinson came straight out of a musical family. Their father, the Reverend Joseph Hutchinson, made sure the girls were grounded in gospel. They began as the Hutchinson Sunbeams, singing in church and on Christian radio. But once the world heard them, they became the Emotions, and emotions are exactly what they stirred. So I Can Love You, Don't Ask My Neighbors, Flowers, Best of My Love. These songs were diaries in harmony. When they teamed up with Maurice of Earth, Wind and Fire, they created something magical. Best of My Love became a worldwide hit, topping the charts and winning a Grammy. But long before all that glitter, my father knew they were gold. I remember distinctly every time we would get in his car, we would be listening to the Emotions. There were the Spinners and Enchantment mostly. However, the Emotions definitely had a place in his heart. We even took a road trip from Chicago to Mississippi, and the Emotions were on constant loop. On this trip, we listened, we sang, we fell asleep, we woke up, we listened, and we sang some more. Outside of his own daughters, the Haynes sisters, the Emotions were his favorite female singing group. Whenever we would sing and harmonize an Emotion song, my dad would simply say, "Might nice." Chicago runs deep in the Emotion story, and eventually, so did I, sort of. Years later, I had the honor of meeting the group not once, but twice, once in Atlanta and again back home in Chicago. And seeing them in person, hearing those voices live, laughing with them, it wasn't just a moment. It was a memory my father would have absolutely cherished. It felt like I was standing in the presence of living history. Beautiful, vibrant, humble women who helped shape the sound of soul itself. And the story doesn't end there. I also had the opportunity to meet Keith Henderson, one of their producers. I had actually worked with him prior to meeting the Emotions. Keith is a musical genius and Chicago legend in his own right. The connection deepened the experience, made it even more real. Hearing how the music was made, the stories behind the studio walls, it made me feel like I was walking the same hallways my father used to dream through. It was a full circle moment. From hearing and singing their records as a little girl in my father's car to standing face to face with the women whose voices shaped the soundtrack of my childhood. It was spiritual. It was soul deep. The Emotions are more than legends. They're legacy. Chicago gave them roots, gospel gave them wings, and they gave us sound that still soars. Whether it's that joyful scream at the start of Boogie Wonderland or the tender ache in Don't Ask My Neighbor, their voices still move us. And as long as they do, that love for music and for them lives on. So here's to the Emotions, to family, to Chicago, to the music that moves generations, and to those full circle moments that remind us music isn't just heard, it's felt. If you enjoyed this tribute to my Chi-Town homegirls, The Emotions, drop your favorite Emotion song in the comments. Mine is simply Anything and Everything The Emotions. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more stories beyond the legends that have shaped our lives. Until next time, keep the music alive by checking out this next video.